If you're one of the many who've hit midlife and are no longer fulfilled by your current career and you've dreamed of becoming a professional pilot, but you're worried that it's a little late for you, I have good news. Unless you're over the age of 60 or so, it's not too late. In fact, there's never been a better time to become a professional pilot. Hello, my name is Trent, and just over a year ago, I decided to make a huge change in my life. And after 30 years as a business owner, I decided to go after the only job that I ever really wanted to have, and that was as a professional pilot. Thanks to doing extensive research and then taking massive action, I was able to go from being just a private pilot with only 100 hours to getting hired as a first officer at the largest regional airline in the United States in just 13 months. Yes, you heard me right, just 13 months. And in this video, I'm going to share with you some of the details of how I did it. Before we get into the details, I do want to give you a little bit of background in case this is your first time watching one of my videos. Back in April of 2023, I posted a video titled, "Is 53 Too Old to Become an Airline Pilot?" Since then, the video's been watched about 40,000 times, and overall the response was pretty positive. But as you might have guessed, there was a pretty decent number of people who collectively shit on me and told me that I was a fool for thinking that it might be possible. Shortly after publishing this video, I decided to go all in with my goal, and then I published my second video titled "My Plan to Earn Six Figures as a Pilot Within 18 Months, Starting at Age 53. And much to my surprise, that video got viewed over 100,000 times in its first 2 weeks. Suffice to say, it was at that moment that I realized that I wasn't the only middle-aged dude thinking about becoming an airline pilot a little later in life. So I decided to keep making videos to share my journey with as many other guys and a few gals as possible, all with the hopes of inspiring others to follow their dreams as well. So in the last 13 months, by following my plan to a T and working my ass off, I've been able to achieve the following. I earned 7 ratings and completed flight school in just 91 days. I spent under $50,000 on flight school versus the roughly $100,000 that most of the big flight schools charge. I became a very successful independent CFI, and I logged over 1,000 hours in the last 12 months. I earned well over $100,000 in less than a year as a CFI versus being a CFI at a flight school and maybe making 20 to 25 bucks an hour. And then ultimately achieved my goal of receiving a conditional job offer as a first officer with the largest regional airline in the US. And let me tell you, that felt pretty darn awesome. So over the last year doing what I've done, I learned a massive amount about how to do accelerated flight training the right way, as well as what to watch out for, because there is a lot of things, a lot of gotchas along the way. So if you'd like to follow in my footsteps, there are a number of things that you absolutely must get right, and here's what some of them are. Number one, you've got to make sure that you pick the right flight school. Should you pick Part 61 or Part 141, that's a big part of it, but that's not all of it. There is a ton more that goes into selecting the right flight school. And if you select the wrong flight school, you are going to waste a serious amount of cash, a serious amount of time, and you're going to get extremely frustrated in the process. Number two, how to study so that you can retain large amounts of information in a short period of time. I am no study whiz, I can assure you. In fact, I actually failed my first oral exam for the private pilot license because I really didn't know what the hell that I was doing. After that, I figured out an absolutely bulletproof study plan, and I never failed another check ride after that. Number three, how to become a successful and well-paid independent CFI. Yes, I do have a popular YouTube channel, and yes, that absolutely contributed to my becoming a successful independent CFI, but my mentor never had a social media presence, and he also was an extremely successful independent CFI. So even if you don't want to be on YouTube or on social media, you can do it, and you don't have to settle for that 20 to 25 bucks an hour, which is the going rate that flight schools are offering. And then finally, what equipment that I think you are going to need and the equipment that I purchased. Sadly, there are a huge number of people who don't have the information needed to get through flight school cost effectively and quickly. And I know this because now that my videos have been watched over 2 million times, I've received thousands of comments from people just like you, and I read and I reply to every single comment. And let me tell you, there is a massive amount of confusion about the things that I spoke about just a moment ago. And if I had $1 for every comment from someone whose training was costing far more than they expected or was taking far longer than they expected, I'd be a pretty rich guy. So since achieving this goal in such a short period of time, for far less money than most people would expect it to cost, I've been absolutely inundated with requests for help and guidance and consulting calls and emails and so forth that I could ever handle if I was to handle them one at a time. So rather than tell everybody, hey, sorry, I just don't have the time to help you because I'm about to do my jet training and that's going to be incredibly time consuming. At the request of many people who've been following my channel for a while, I've instead decided to create a series of about a dozen videos that cover absolutely everything that you'd need to know to replicate my success. So, how do you get all this information from me? Well, you've got 3 options. Number 1, probably not going to be popular with most of you, is you can pay me $250 for a 1-hour consultation. As you might guess, I only have so much free time, so I really can't help very many people that way, and not too many people want to pay $250 for an hour of my time. Number 2 is the free option. You can watch all the videos on my channel, which is free, obviously, but being as the information is sort of sprinkled all over the place, it's going to take you quite a few hours to learn everything that you need to do. So if you have more free time than you do have money, that would be a very good option for you. If, on the other hand, you value your time, well, I would encourage you to choose option number 3, and that's to purchase a copy of my video-based guide on accelerated flight training. And then once you watch all of those videos, which will take you just over an hour, you're going to understand everything that you need to be able to replicate my success. So if you're like most people that I've spoken with and most people that I've interacted with over social media in the comments, my guess is that number 3 is going to be the most appealing option for you. And I know that because so many people asked me to create it. That's why you're watching this video. To get a copy of the guide, all you need to do is go right down into the description and there will be a link there to the page where you can get all the information that you need. So let me start by saying that I plan to run my channel for years to come. And that means that my reputation online among all of you is far more important to me than the small amount of money that you give me to get a copy of my guide. So if you decide to purchase my guide and you go through it from end to end and you don't feel that what you've learned will save you at least 10 times the price that you paid me for it, just send me an email and I'll refund your money. You might ask, well, hey, does offering a guarantee like this open me up to people who would say buy the guide, use it, get value from it, and just ask for a refund anyway? Well, yeah, sure it does, but I'm willing to bet that the vast majority of people who watch my channel just aren't that kind of shithead. So if you have any questions or comments that you share, I would love to hear them. Please leave them in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.